gotta go. The hands are done.
I have to come with it all. I have to do more. Obviously, just to secure the win is doing just enough to get a draw.
On the outside, and I just want to help, like I said, the fighters that's up and coming,
Floyd Mayweather is reportedly helping Lamont Roach prepare for his rematch against Gervonta Davis. With Mayweather's top-level defense and smart boxing skills, Roach is improving his technique, footwork, and ring IQ. This training could give Roach the advantage he needs to win their upcoming fight. Lamont Roach's training footage looks sharp. His speed, footwork, and technique are on point, and he's showing great improvement. Every punch is crisp, his movement is smooth, and he seems more focused and determined than ever. He shows no signs of slowing down as he prepares for the rematch. Lamont Roach is determined and says he wants to push harder this time to secure his win. His motivation comes from the controversy around their first fight. He knows he must train even harder to prove he is the better fighter in the ring.
I have to come with it all. I have to do more. Obviously, just to secure the win is doing just enough to get a draw. So I have to push harder. I have to train harder. I have to be more mean. I have to be more physical. I have to do a lot. I have to do everything just a little more. And I think that will definitely put me over the hump. And I'm more than motivated to get back in there, get back in the camp, and work hard so I can secure a victory over a pound-for-pound fighter, in which I believe that I am myself.
Floyd Mayweather has always guided young fighters and played a big role in Gervonta Davis's early career by giving him advice and strategy. Now that Davis has left Mayweather Promotions, Floyd is focusing on other boxers, including Roach, which makes the upcoming rematch even more interesting.
Do you will come back to boxing?
Oh no. I'm not coming back to the sport of boxing. The sport of boxing was good to me. I was able to make a lot of smart investments on the outside, and I just want to help, like I said, the fighters that's up and coming, like I was talking about, like Gervonta Tank Davis. I don't understand why he's not in the top 10 pound for pound. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, Benavidez. The list goes on. There's so many tough fighters out there. So many great young champions out there that I'm proud of.
Mayweather has often talked about his role in building Davis's career, but these comments have sometimes caused tension between them. Davis, wanting to create his own legacy, has been frustrated with Mayweather taking credit for his success. Their relationship has had its ups and downs, adding another layer to this boxing rivalry.
Tank Davis, he was a young kid, came up to me when he was a kid, wanted an autograph. I signed his phone for him and told him, "You'll be world champion someday, and I'll be your promoter." Years later, he was working with some people from our team, because our team is huge. We got guys in DC, Baltimore, Philly, New York, all around. He won a few fights. I think he was like 8 or 9-0. I told him, in under 24 months, you'll be world champion. Made the right moves, put him in the right position. He's a multi-millionaire now.
Absolutely.
He was a kid that couldn't even buy a bus ticket. Now he's a multi-millionaire.
This isn't the first time Floyd has helped a fighter prepare for Gervonta Davis. Before, he shared his knowledge with Frank Martin for a fight against Tank. Since Floyd understands Davis's boxing style well, his training with Roach could give a big advantage.
Fighters, he loves to embrace guys. So what was being around, talking to Floyd? Like, what has Floyd taught you about fighting? And has it made you a better fighter? Because he could tell me all day to do that shit he does. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what does being around a guy like Floyd do for you?
He could tell you, go run at 2 in the morning. Go do it when, cause 9 times out of 10, we know your opponent's sleep at that time. So go run at 2 in the morning and go give yourself a mental edge, cause you out there working every night at 2 in the morning running. That's a lot of the times your opponent sleep. You know, it could be little things that'll take you to the next level. You know, that Floyd, a person like Floyd, like if he tell you that, you gonna take a lot of heed to it, and it's gonna give you a different type of motivation when you doing it. He could show you something, you know, and it could be the same thing. You know, you might not be able to do it like him, but just it coming from him, it'll give you like a different type of like feel about yourself.
Hold up, limitless, niggas to me cap pinning it. I thought they hear the.
You know, he the one told Frank that I was running at 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, Friday. He told Frank that. He was giving Frank tips and stuff like that. But I knew for sure that wasn't going to be enough to beat me. It's cool. It's all right. I don't really think too much of it. He's not going to hurt me. You know what I mean? So it's good to be with him than be cool with him, because he can do some crazy stuff. He'll put you in bad situations.
Floyd Mayweather has always focused on a smart and careful approach to boxing, with strong defense and technical skills. This matches well with Roach's improving style, and it looks like Roach is using some of Mayweather's strategies in his training. However, some critics say Mayweather's training style has flaws, arguing that his fighters depend too much on technique and defense instead of stamina and toughness. Others also question Mayweather's belief that a short training camp is enough, believing that long-term conditioning is key to success.
You train 6 weeks before the fight, and Floyd Mayweather messed these boxers up thinking that they can only train 6 weeks before the fight and then they'll be good. Y'all remember when Floyd said that? Give me 6 weeks, I'll beat him. And all these fighters adapted to that. Give me 6 weeks, I'll beat him. Only one that haven't adapted to it, I have to give them props where props is due, is Terrence Crawford.
To prepare for his fight against Davis, Roach wants to spar with Jaron Boots Ennis. He thinks Ennis has a similar boxing style to Davis and believes training with him will help him handle Tank's speed and power. This strategy could be important for Roach's game plan. Roach believes many people are underestimating him, but he is confident that on fight night, he will prove them wrong and shock Gervonta Davis's fans with an upset win. His strong belief in his skills and preparation makes him more determined than ever to get the victory.
What came to fight was a very competitive fight, good fight. Yeah, you wore him down, I remember it very well, wore him down, took control, looked very impressive. And the rumor is, not the rumor, the facts is you have a fight coming up in a few weeks versus Gervonta Tank Davis. Yeah. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I want everybody to know that it's going to be an upset.
Roach has talked about his training and skills, saying he has everything needed to win. He has worked on his power, endurance, and defense to make sure no part of his game is weak. According to him, he is entering the ring as a complete fighter.
30 people, knocked out, what, 28 of them, right? What makes you different?
He probably can't answer that question. he probably can't answer that question. But it's the skill, the will. I got the whole package, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not sitting there waiting to get hit by nobody, especially somebody that's supposed to be a power puncher. That's evidently a power puncher. I got too much. I got too much for me to go out like that. I'm not saying he don't, but I can't. Like, if anything, I'm trying to flip it around. I'm trying to make it flip the narrative. Like, I'm the one in there.
Jeff Mayweather looked at the first fight and believes Roach threw and landed more punches than Davis. As a longtime supporter of Tank, Jeff was surprised to see Davis struggling and not performing as well as usual. He felt Roach might have done enough to deserve the win.
I think that's the worst decision I think I might have ever seen. I don't know how that's not a knockdown. But anyway, thoughts on the overall fight first, Jeff?
I think that it was a good fight on both sides, and I do think that Roach actually won the fight. I thought he outworked Tank. I thought that he threw more punches than Tank. It seemed like Tank was fighting like he always do. It just seemed like he was just waiting for him to figure out whoever was in front of him like he always do and then go to work. But this time when he went to work, the guy went to work back. So, I mean, he had somebody that was firing back at him. It's the same way.
Yeah. I think the commentators and most of us at home thought, kind of the same thing. You thought Roach would bank some of those early rounds to prepare for the onslaught later. And when it didn't really happen, it was pretty even. We said, well, this is going to be a one-sided fight. But yeah, it never happened. And Roach, through the latter half of the fight, actually seemed to do better than the first half.
I thought he did good pretty much all the way through the fight. I mean, there was a few rounds where he didn't do that well, but I mean, I thought he won the fight clearly. I mean, I didn't see Gervonta really the Gervonta that I know. I mean, I'm a big Gervonta fan, but I didn't see none of the Gervonta that I'm used to seeing.
Why do you think that is? Roach was pretty lightly valued coming into the fight, moving up a weight class. It's not somebody that they expected to give him a huge challenge. What do you think it was that Roach presented to Tank that made it so difficult for him?
The one thing is that he fought at the right distance, and he let his hands go. And that's the most important part. That's how you win a fight, by letting your hands go. I mean, Gervonta was sitting back, waiting like he normally does, and then all of a sudden he finishes them. He always finishes opponents, but this time it didn't happen.
Boxing enthusiast Sauce Waka has openly said that Roach outperformed Davis in their first fight. He believes Roach's better strategy and execution were enough to win, and that anyone who truly understands boxing can see that Davis was outclassed that night, no matter what the official result was.
I think that they should have counted that point against him. Do you think Lamont Roach won, or do you think it wasn't enough?
It could be considered a rightful draw, but I also lean towards that Lamont Roach won that fight. I believe he won the fight simply because he outclassed the champ. In boxing, you have to do two things to beat the champ. You either got to knock out the champ or completely outclass the champ. But you have to beat the champ. You're not going to just get the win because you survived or you put up a good fight. Bro lost that fight.
Facts.
Like, when you really, really know boxing and know boxing for what it really, really is, Tank lost that fight. No matter how much people, emotions and feelings are attached to it, because Tank is a hero of the hood. The ghetto loved the Tank. Gervonta Davis has been crowned king. My personal opinion, I don't think he should take the rematch, and I think he's already done what you just said. I think off of what he's already accomplished with the draw, he's already in a life-changing situation to where he could change every person around his life forever. He's now what's called a prize fighter, guaranteed. He's now what's also called a A-side fighter right now. But if he does what I like to call the Deontay Wilder and chase the legacy of getting the win, because you thinking from more of 100% on the boxing aspect than the business aspect, which Gervonta Davis has clearly showed everybody, the larger amount of his success is from the business module of the way he does boxing that was being gifted to him through Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions and PBC. But at the end of the day, so f***ing what? That's what he's supposed to do. I'm not mad at Gervonta Davis for that.
Popular boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult pointed out an unusual moment in the fight, questioning why Davis went to his corner after being knocked down. He said that a fighter of Davis's level shouldn't react that way, suggesting the knockdown might have affected him more than he showed.
Y'all explain to me how the hell that wasn't a knockdown. That was a knockdown, period. He took a knee for the break. That's a knockdown. You can't pump fake a knockdown. Everybody would be pump faking knockdowns. Y'all gonna be like, Tank was smart for that. You can't take a knee, pump fake a knockdown, and then walk to your corner in the middle of the round and scream for a towel, and they wipe you down, and there's gonna be y'all saying some disgusting shit. Y'all gonna be like, yeah, Tank can do what he wants, because Tank, yo, hey, listen, we ain't got that kind of time, dog. You can't do that, bro. If any part of your body other than your feet touch the canvas following a landed shot is a knockdown. Who is fixing the fights now? Oh, shit.
If Devin your God, y'all gotta pay me now. I gotta get the knockout. If not, y'all gonna give it to him.
Who is fixing the fights now?
Tank's team remains confident that their initial approach was the right one. According to his coach, they aren't making big changes to their training plan because they believe they had the right strategy from the start. This time, they are just refining their execution and making sure Tank is fully prepared.
Shit, I mean, is he a boxer? Do we even need Tank to be 100% to beat Jake Paul?
I mean, I would say be 100% because of his size. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that does.
Yeah.
That does make sense.
And Jake Paul is getting better with time, you know, compared to when he first started. He definitely he learning. A lot of guys ain't had no amateur fights. They turned pro and they learned on the job, and that's exactly what Jake doing. You know, especially in the heavyweight division.
Do you think Jake Paul has enough size and power to stop Tank?
The first fight between Roach and Davis was one of the toughest of Tank's career. He had never faced this level of challenge before, and Roach pushed him to his limits. The rematch will show if Davis can make the right adjustments or if Roach's style will keep causing him problems.
And most notably, I'll just speak about a fight that, we just had with Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. My message to Tank after that fight, it was given a draw. A lot of controversy around Tank taking a knee due to hair banding his face or his eyes, so forth and so on, and burning his eyes. And, in my opinion, it was a competitive fight. The judges judged it as a draw. A lot of people were saying it was rigged, all these different things, so forth and so on. Whatever it may be. The fight is over.
Roach has said that not every fighter can use the strategy he used against Davis. He believes his unique skills, patience, and ability to control the pace of the fight were what made him so effective against Tank. He insists that his approach is something only he can pull off successfully.
You've now shown the world the formula to how to beat Tank Davis?
Maybe not. I mean, I'm me. I don't think a lot of guys possess the same skills that I have. If they go in there and try to fight like me, they might not succeed.
Tank's trainer, Kenny Ellis, isn't sure that Roach's intense training will be enough to win. While he recognizes Roach's dedication, he believes real toughness comes from a fighter's heart and their ability to take punishment in the ring. Training hard is important, but surviving the fight is another challenge.
So, without the knee, you have it 7-5 Tank winning it. How does Tank feel after the loss? I mean, the draw.
I mean,
it seemed like he seemed like he took it well when he had the mic.
I went to the press with Tank. I mean, we didn't discuss it. I ain't talked to him yet.
Okay. Looking at all the fighters talk about the knee, does that surprise you?
Well, you got haters with everything he do. You just got Tank haters. But fighters been taking knees through the history of boxing. So people want to talk.
So you believe that this was an honest mistake when it came down to Tank taking that knee, or do you feel like this is something that happens in boxing?
It wasn't illegal, so I ain't gonna say it was a mistake.
That's why I asked you that exact way. Like, do you feel like it was a mistake, or do you feel like no, this is a veteran move? This is stuff that happens in boxing.
It happens in boxing. It happens in boxing. It wasn't illegal.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and stay informed. Stay tuned for more updates, and let's keep our news accurate.